This is a review of the Edgenuity lesson, factoring trinomials when a is greater than 1. So to start off, just as a reminder, a is the value that's in front of the x squared. So we've done already where you factor trinomials like this, where there's no written number in front of the x squared, it's just an imaginary 1 there. And remember when we factored that, we just had to decide what two numbers multiply to make 6 and add to make -5. So for this one, it would be -2 and -3. If you multiply those, you'll get a +6. If you add them, -2 plus -3 is -5. So that tells us how to factor. One of the factors is x minus 2 because of the negative, and the other one is x minus 3. And then you would be done. Now, you can't do that when there is a number in front of your x squared. The video on Edgenuity showed how to do the method using an x. I'm going to show you what I call the AC method. So as a reminder, like I've said, a is the number in front of x squared, and c is the constant. It's the one that has no variable on it. So for example 2, we have a number in front of x squared, so we have to do the AC method. So this is a, and this is c. So what we do is we multiply them. So I'm going to 2 times 3, which is 6. Now, similar to what we did here, we're going to decide what two numbers multiply to make 6 and add to make +5. So that would be a +2 and a +3. If you multiply them, you get 6. 2 plus 3 is 5. Now, unlike this problem here, that doesn't mean that that's our answer. We don't just write the factors then. This tells us how we're going to split up the middle term. So instead of having it be 5x, I'm going to change it to +2x plus 3x. And then the last number is +3. So we haven't done any factoring yet. We just split up that middle term. 2x plus 3x is still 5x. Now, once we've decided that, what you're going to do is we're going to do the factor by grouping, where we break it in half. And we look, what could we divide out of 2x squared and 2x? A 2 and an x. 2x squared divided by 2x is just x. 2x divided by itself is just 1. Then we look at the back two. What number could we divide out of 3x and 3? A +3. And that would leave us with 3x divided by 3 is x. 3 divided by 3 is 1. Now remember, if you get to this step and these two things don't match, then you've messed up. But luckily we have matching factors there. So if I pull that factor out, that means I have x plus 1, and then our remaining part is 2x plus 3. Okay, so now let's look at example 3. So again, we have a number in front of the x squared. It's a 12. So we have to do the AC method. So we're going to do 12 times -8, which is -96. So we've got to just figure out here what two numbers multiply to make -96 and add to make 29. So I'm going to do on the side here, okay, a little guess and check here. It looks like we're going to have to use a +32 and a -3. It's okay if you have to sit on a calculator and do guess and check for a little while. 32 times -3 is -96, and 32 plus a -3 puts us at 29. So again, that's not our answer. That just tells me how I'm going to want to split up this middle term. So I'm going to go 12x squared plus 32x minus 3x minus 8. Okay, so out of the first two numbers, looking at the first two numbers, they both have at least one x on there, so I know I'm going to take out an x. But the biggest number that I can divide out of 12 and 32, that's going to be a 4. So we're going to divide out a 4x there. 12x squared divided by 4x gives me 3x. 32x divided by 4x gives me 8. Okay, so now let's look at the back two. When we have negative 3x minus 8. So I've said it in previous video that you always want this first value to be positive. So I know I'm going to have to divide out a negative, so I can change this to a positive. Now looking at the numbers 3 and 8, there's nothing that we can take out. So what I'm going to have to divide out is just a negative 1, okay, because that's not going to change our numbers at all. So negative 3x divided by negative 1 gives me a positive 3x. Negative 8 divided by negative 1 gives me a positive 8. And there we are. We match again. 3x plus 8, 3x plus 8. So our first factor is 3x plus 8. And our second factor is 4x minus 1.